So I want to start the show off by talking about, before they release their rankings, what my college football playoff rankings would be at this time. And coming in at number one as the one seed, I have Oregon. Oregon has just looked so dominant all season long and looks like the favorite to win it all. I mean, Dylan Gabriel's playing out of his mind. I was a little worried about them, how they played against Idaho in the season opener, and then how they played against Boise State. Boise State almost actually won that game, and I actually probably have Boise State ranked higher than most people have them ranked. So probably going to get some controversial viewership once I mention that. Coming in at number two, I have Ohio State. Ohio State's only loss was a 1-point loss to Oregon on the road. A game, one of the best games of the season so far, followed by number three, Georgia, who lost to Bama in another amazing game this season that I didn't actually get to watch. I had a charity run Sunday morning and still have to go back and watch that game because I've really missed out on that. Followed by Texas at number four, whose only loss is to Georgia. This differs from the AP poll because the AP poll has Miami at number four. I have Texas at number four, and I have actually Miami at number five. I can't tell whether I think Miami's a good football team or if they're just getting lucky. I mean, the way they beat Virginia Tech, the way they got bailed out against Cal, the refs helped with both of those. Whether the call on the Hail Mary should have been called a touchdown at first, based off of the call on the field, it shouldn't have been reversed. Against Cal, they got away with the targeting call. I mean, they basically knocked the quarterback out cold, helmet to helmet, clear. Should have extended the drive, should have led to Cal winning that game, not leading to a punt that let Miami go down and score. And then they were in a close game against Duke, but then they showed up and just ran away with it at the end, impressing me. I think Cam Ward looks great. We'll talk a little bit more about Cam Ward in just a little bit. What up, Gameplay Shorts? Coming in at number six, I have Indiana. I think Indiana is getting underrated by AP viewers or AP voters. I think if they had a different logo on the side of the helmet, if they had a different history than what their football program is, I think they'd be ranked higher than the AP voters. And I'm really interested to see how this committee ends up ranking Indiana overall tonight. Followed by Indiana, I have number seven, BYU. BYU is another undefeated team. They just keep winning. I was amazed with how well they played and crushed Kansas State. They have a win over SMU, and SMU is looking like a really good team right now. And it's just hard not to be rooting for BYU. Followed by, at number 8, I have Tennessee, whose only loss is to Arkansas, and they did beat Bama. I think Tennessee can beat Georgia, and we'll talk about how I maybe think Georgia may lose to Ole Miss with the way Carson Beck is playing a little later on. It's on a little sheet of notes to talk about later on. Followed by Tennessee, I have Penn State, who just lost to Ohio State. Penn State struggled against Wisconsin until the middle of the third quarter when Braden Locke threw a pick six. Then they ran away with that game, only winning 28-10 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I kind of pushed that game out of my memory as a Badger fan just because it was a painful second half, and the Badger season has been a painful one this year, as you guys saw in my video I released just a few days ago. But coming in at number 9, I have Boise State. Now, the reason I have Boise State at number 9 is their only loss is to Oregon right now. Yes, they don't have the strongest schedule playing in the Mountain West, but they played Oregon to, I think, 3 points. Let me just pull up that score to see how... Yeah, they went into Oregon and lost 37-34 on the road. I think they're not getting the respect they deserve right now. And like Indiana, if they had a different logo on the side of their helmet, I think they'd be ranked a little higher. So I'm excited to see where Boise State is ranked come the committee's rankings as well in just a little bit. The show starts going at 7. Number 10, I have SMU, whose only loss is to BYU. And followed by Notre Dame at number or no, at number 10 I have Boise State, number 11 I have SMU, and number 12 I have Notre Dame. At number 13 I have Alabama, 14 I have Texas A&M, 15 I have LSU. I rank Texas A&M above LSU just because Texas A&M has beaten LSU this season so far, and at number 16 I have Ole Miss. I think that Tennessee Georgia game, Pokeboy 926, is going to be a really fun game to pay attention. Uh, but bringing my rankings down to the college football playoff bracket to release my bracket before they decide to go and release their bracket, I have Oregon as the 1 seed, Georgia as the 2 seed, Miami as the 3 seed, and BYU as the 4 seed as the 4 conference champions who get a bye. That leads a first round matchup with Ohio State versus Notre Dame, the 5 and 12. Uh, Texas versus SMU, which would be a really exciting Texas in-state Texas matchup for the 6 and 11 matchup. At 8 and 9, I have Tennessee versus Penn State. I think that could be another exciting college football matchup. And the 7 and 10 matchup is Indiana and Boise State, which would be the more I think about these games, the more excited I get for this 12-team college football playoff. I've been a fan of the FCS football teams and the way their playoff system has gone on for years. I'm getting really excited for their playoff coming up, and I have a few FCS videos coming out this week, next week, and I'm going to be covering the FCS playoffs throughout the month of December. We're going to be hopefully releasing a video every day from the week of Thanksgiving all the way through Christmas while I'm working a full-time job on top of that. I do all this stuff by myself, so we'll see how well this goes. We'll see if my sanity survives. But for the next few weeks, we're going to try to go live Tuesday for these college football playoff shows.